Welcome to Buffy-less. I am Risha.
And I'm Erin.
I'm so excited. This is season 1, episode 4, called Teacher's Pet.
Oh,
Yes.
I hate that my brain goes dirty.
Oh, no. You see, we're in the Bronze, the club, and Buffy is backing away from a vampire who's coming at her. And then she's like, got a little bit of a scared eyes on. And then Xander comes up behind the vampire and grabs his shoulders and says something like, "Can I cut in?" And he saves the day. And,
nah, this is his dream. This ain't real.
You're totally right. 'Cause then she's like, "You hurt your hand."
As soon as you said she looked scared, I was like, no, this is going to be some
real.
dream shit of Xander's.
Yeah,
But okay, so she's,
yeah, she's
Xander.
like, "Oh, you hurt your hand." And he's like, it's not, I can still finish the set. And he goes up onto the stage
Oh my
and starts
God.
playing guitar and singing. And she walks up and she gets close and everybody's watching him. And she looks up to him on stage and she just says, "You're drooling." And he's like, "What?" "You're drooling." And it cuts back to science class where they're in.
Oh, no.
And he wakes up because he's kind of staring at her a little bit.
Yep.
And he jolts awake and she's pointing at his face
Drooling.
"You're drooling." And so FYI, this episode is a lot about Xander.
Oh, no. Okay. But to be fair, that is kind of adorable. I do kind of love the puppy love dream.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have to give him props because he found out that vampires are real and the girl he has a crush on is a vampire slayer and has fully embraced that.
Oh, yeah.
So big props for that, dude.
So they're in science class. And the teacher comes over and he's doing the whole questions and stuff. And it's like, "Oh, well, she's not paying attention. So Miss Summers, Buffy, can you answer this question for me?" And it's about ants and how they communicate. What are
Okay.
the 2 ways ants communicate?
Pheromones. And
How do they get the pheromones? How do they get to them? How do they notice them?
Well, they leave a trail of pheromones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They smell them.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Yep. And touch.
Sure.
So she's looking over and she doesn't know the answer.
Okay.
And she's looking over at Willow, who's trying to give her the answer, who's next to Xander, across the aisle.
Yep.
And so Willow is petting Xander's back and "Ooh," and she's like, "Touch."
Amazing.
Teacher's like, "Mm-hmm."
Uh-huh,
And then Willow starts sniffing Xander, and Buffy says, "B.O.?"
Oh my God. Kinda.
Right? And the guy that's next to Buffy is obviously shown to be a jock
Sure.
kind of guy. He's like, "Oh, I was waiting for somebody to say it." And the teacher's like, "Smell, Miss Summers," is what, yes, smell. And pretty much says, "Everybody," okay, then the bell rings. "Everybody, chapter 6 through 8, blah, blah, blah. Miss Summers, may I see you?"
Oh God.
And so she kind of gets in a little bit of trouble for doing that. But he then starts talking to her about how Principal Flutie has, I know that's his name, has shown him her permanent record.
Oh, why?
And that, she's had some troubles and I think you'll do something here at school, and she's like, she's trying to be kind of light with it, but she's like, "Oh, crap."
Yeah.
And so the teacher is Dr. Gregory.
Okay.
And he then talks about how he can see that she can think on her feet. He says, "I know you can excel in this class, so let's make them eat that permanent record."
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Didn't see that coming.
Right? He starts out all kind of stern
Yeah.
and stuff, and then he's like, "Nah."
Sock it to the man.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
And so Buffy smiles and just says, "Thanks," and
Yeah.
walks out, kind of feeling, kind of pumped up a little, good about herself. And then we're still in the science lab with Dr. Gregory. And he's looking at these slides and his microscope and pulling things up and down. And then it's kind of dark in there, and we see this giant claw come from behind him as he's looking at his slides, and he falls backwards and his glasses fall off and break.
No.
And then it cuts to the bronze, which I couldn't Shazam the song that was happening. I was so mad. But there's the guy that was the jock next to Buffy, and he's talking to another dude, and he's like, girls really gotta have something to go with me.
Oh my God.
And Xander says, yeah, something like a lobotomy.
Xander. All right.
And the other dude is like, how many times you score, Xander? And Xander's like,
fuck off, you're 16, none of you are scoring.
Right.
And if you think you are, it's for 2 minutes and no one's actually
so
enjoying it.
And Xander's like, today or the whole week?
God.
And then he sees Buffy and Willow walk in. He's like, girls! Like, he goes up to him and he puts his arms around them and they're like, what the heck? And he's like, please help me.
Yeah, please. Oh, sweetie.
Yeah, my manliness is being questioned.
Yep. Oh.
And then Willow like grabs into him, like puts her hand on her chest and his chest and behind him. She's like, we'll show him.
Yes, Willow. Willow's like, if you insist.
Right.
Okay.
And Buffy's like, okay. And she looks over and guess who she sees? She sees
the hot guy, Angel.
Yeah, she sees Angel and she's like, you gotta be joking. And
he scores. Angel fucking scores.
So,
sorry, God, he's like 16. Oh.
She walks over to him.
Also, none of these actors are actually like underage.
No,
so
right.
I feel like I'm not. Yeah, you okay?
Right.
We're on the same page.
But she walks over to him, and this is the first time Xander or Willow have seen him.
Oh.
They've heard about him.
Oh, Xander gonna be mad.
Xander's like, who's that? And Willow's like, that must be Angel.
Oh, because they talk about him.
And Xander's like, what? He's a very attractive man. How come that never came up? He's just like all pressed by that fact.
It did. You just weren't there, sweetie.
Yeah, just not to you. Right?
Yeah. Yep. This came up at the like girl sleepover.
And so then you see Buffy talking to Angel.
Okay.
And she's like throwing, banter at him as they do.
Yep.
And he says, you're cold. And she's like, you can take it. And he said, I mean, you look cold. And he gives her his leather jacket.
Oh, God. It's leather. I can smell it.
The leather jacket with the wife beater under it, like the white wife beater.
Damn.
And then so she gets his jacket on and she looks at him and she's like, your arms hurt. What happened? Because he's bleeding.
Sure.
And he said, I wasn't paying attention. And she said, to a fork? Because that's what it looked. She's like, it looked like a fork wound.
Oh.
And then he all mysterious again.
Yeah.
He's like
Broody.
evasive a little bit, and he's like, he's coming. Don't let him sneak up on you.
Oh my God, the hot boy angst. I can't.
And then he's like, I gotta go. He leaves, and she's like.
Also, I just want to say that level of communication in real life is so fucking annoying. Just absolute hate. Like, if I ask you a question,
true.
please fucking answer it. But fictional characters, ooh, ooh. Leather jackets, though, real life fake. I'll take it.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta go.
Wait, did he leave her the jacket?
Yes, she's got his jacket on, but she's like, sweet dreams to you too. Like, bye. Like.
Right, just show up, be all brooding, give the least helpful warning.
Right? He's coming. Don't let him sneak up on you.
Thanks, fucker.
Right? And so then they get back to school.
Okay.
And they find out the science teacher is missing. Dr. Gregory is missing.
No.
And then, so Xander's talking to them, to Willow and Buffy, and he suddenly is struck speechless and dumbfounded because this woman is walking towards him up the stairs towards the school. And
oh my God, is it going to be the substitute teacher?
It is the substitute teacher.
Oh no.
And he can't form sentences. He's bumbling. And then the other jock guy like tells her where she's supposed to go. Like, because she's like, I can't find this class, and find out her name is Miss French.
Of course.
And so when they walk into science class, Buffy finds Dr. Gregory's broken glasses. And it's like, oh, darn,
Yeah.
And like puts them onto the counter, the desk area.
Right.
And the sub starts going on about how like what section they're on. They're on insects. And so she starts talking about the praying mantis and how noble a creature it is.
Oh no.
And
how it eats their mate.
And Buffy says like bug ugly might be something. Like she says something about bug ugly. And the teacher kind of like jerks back and is like, there's nothing ugly about these creatures.
Oh God, did Gregory get eaten?
And so she goes on about, the praying mantis and who would like to make model egg sacs for science fair.
That's very specific.
Who would like to help her do this after school is what she says.
Oh, there ain't model egg sacs. She gonna eat your ass. Let's say eat your ass, but not like that. Well,
several of the boys raise their hands.
I bet.
Saying they'll help. And then it gets to lunchtime, and they're again bantering about like how Xander's has an older woman interested in him and blah, blah, blah. and then like the girls are firing back just on the same level.
Why is that such a cool thing when you're in high school?
So dumb.
Oh, someone older than me is interested. No, they're fucking pervert. The 20 whatever, no, it's not sexy.
It's not cute.
You're not like, you are like other girls. You are like other boys, and that's a good thing. Okay, anyway, sorry.
No, you good. Needs to be said. It's lunchtime, and then Cordelia walks in, and she's like, I have to get my medically prescribed food. I'll be here as like little time as possible because she hates it in there. And so she's getting her medically prescribed food that's different from everybody else's cafeteria food. And she opens the freezer and finds Dr. Gregory's body.
No, didn't she also find a body in like the locker room?
No,
first episode?
that was somebody else, and she just told them about it. Yeah.
Oh no. Also, she kind of deserves that. If anyone's gonna have that trauma,
I mean, she's screaming and she's like, "Where's the head? There's no head."
Oh yeah, no.
And then they, end up in the library with Giles.
As you do.
And Giles said he liked Dr. Gregory.
Yeah.
He was like, he was civilized.
Oh,
so he was a buddy for Giles.
Oh.
And then Giles brings up that in Weatherly Park, a homeless man was shredded.
Oh, no. And the head was missing.
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
just shredded. Okay.
And so that's when they're like, oh, it must be the fort guy. The guy that got Angel.
Sure.
And so Giles is like, don't do anything rash to Buffy. And she's like, I won't.
She always does.
Right. And then he's like, don't go patrolling at night. And she's like, I won't. And she does. Yeah. And she finds this fort guy at night. And she's fighting him in Weatherly Park. And police show up because
he doesn't actually have
killed.
Like 4 cans, does
just
he?
Just one kind of like massive claw thing. Which apparently he had cut off his hand in penance to the master, who was the whole harvest guy dude.
Oh, sure. Okay. Oh, boy.
Right. And the police show up, and they both kind of run because neither of them want to be seen by the police, And the fork guy finds Miss French, the substitute teacher, like a little bit of ways, and she turns slowly and just locks eyes with him. He kind of hisses and backs up, disgusted and kind of fearful.
You should be.
Backs away. He got out of there. And so Buffy sees this.
Oh, she does.
Because she's kind of trying to follow him still. And so she sees this. He gets into a manhole in the ground and just gets out of there. And so she goes back to school. She's locked that away.
Yep.
And because she's going to science class because she wants to like deal with this. She likes going head on,
Yep.
But Principal Flutie grabs her and is like, well, not physically, but he like gets to her and he's like, everyone who saw the body has to go to counseling.
That's fair.
Like, you saw him, you got to go to counseling. And she's like, I just want to go to class. He's like, nope, Yeah, I'm here if you need a hug, but not a real hug because the school has no touching.
Yep. Emotional hug. Fair enough.
And so she has to sit, and she hears Cordelia in there with the counselor, she's like, this has been actually kind of good because I've lost such and such pounds, and I'm not saying a teacher should die every day, but I think we should all be looking on the bright side.
And right when I start feeling bad for her, comes back around.
Yep. And then Buffy runs to class. And she like peeks in the window, how like classrooms have the whole little little narrow
Yes,
window.
yep.
And they're all taking a test. And Miss French had just gone to like Xander's shoulder and like touched his shoulder and leaned in and was like, I think you mean pollination for number 4.
No.
And Buffy is like, oh crap, it's a test. And she looks in and she sees Miss French turn her head all the way around.
Oh no.
And the guy who helped her yesterday, because she had one of the students, the jock guy, helped her with the eggs. He's missing. He's not there.
Oh, I bet he is.
And then it's Xander's turn for today to help her after school.
Oh no.
And he goes in and is like, we're still on for the egg sack making and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, yeah, but I'm just grabbing a little snack, but you'll have to forgive me. I've done something really stupid, like something like that. And Xander's like, forgiveness is my middle name. Actually, it's Lavelle, but I'd hope that can stay between the two of us. So we find out
sweet idiot.
Xander's middle name is Lavelle. But she said she forgot all of her paper mache stuff at home. And so she says, could we do it at my house?
No.
Could we make the egg sacks at my house at 7:30?
Also,
Here's
your
the
school
address.
has a no touch policy. Your school definitely has a no kids at your house policy. I understand that she's going to kill him and that she's not worried about that. But like Xander, red flags.
Right? But then he's like, oh yeah, that'll be, he's like all excited, of course. And he walks out and she is having her little sandwich and she puts live crickets on her sandwich. And so Buffy is all in the library trying to figure this out, and she's like, Dr. Gregory really inspired me to actually do my homework and like learn things and apply myself.
Respect.
So she's looking up insects and she comes out and she's like, it's a praying mantis.
Yeah.
They can rotate their head. I don't remember what she said for the second thing. But then the third one she says is her fashion sense screams predator.
Huh.
So
all right.
that's kind of fun.
Fair enough. I love that.
And so she goes and tries to talk to Xander.
Okay.
And she's like, she's not what she seems. And Xander's like, oh, I know, she's so much more.
Oh, Xander.
And she's like, no, she's a really big bug. And Xander's like, I get it. I've met someone and you're jealous.
God, Xander, no.
And he's like, we're connected. It's like something really strong. And Buffy's like, yeah, pheromones. Like what you said earlier.
Ding, ding, ding.
And she's like, the bug thing she is gives them off. And he's like, she's not a bug.
Oh, Xander.
And then he goes off about leather jackets and that.
Oh, yeah, she's so pissed about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that Angel is a girly name.
Oh, my God.
And then he gets to Miss French's house. And she's wearing a little black dress.
Oh, my God.
And she's made martinis.
He's 16.
She gives Xander alcohol because she's nervous. Yep, he sits down with her and has a martini.
Sorry, this is an audio podcast. I don't have words. The jaws just dropped. Okay.
And then she leans over and she asks him if he's ever been with a woman.
Oh my god. Ick, 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 ick.
And he kind of bullshits a little bit, and then he says, no. And she says, I can tell.
And that's okay because you're 16. You probably shouldn't have been.
Right? Well, even Willow says that later on, by the way. But
it's nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah. She then says something like something about his hand or her hands or something, and it reminds him of Buffy. And he leans back and he goes, Buffy.
Oh, Xander.
He says, I love Buffy.
Oh. Okay, you're right. He grows on me.
And then he looked at his glass and he goes, so that's a martini, huh? And she's going like, And he looks at her hands and he's like, your hands are, and they kind of like flash a little bit. And he goes, so serrated. And he's like, I think I need to go. And then he passes out.
Oh my god. Ick, ick. Oh, I
completely drugged him.
I hate all of this.
Horrible.
I hate all of this.
And then he wakes up in a cell with another dude there. The other dude, the jock guy, is in that cell.
Oh no. Okay, well he's not dead.
Right?
That's good. Oh no.
And he's talking to him and he's like, we got to get out of here. This is not okay. I've seen her do it. She starts moving and throbbing and eggs shoot out of her.
Ugh.
And then she mates with you.
Oh my God.
And he says, that's not even the worst part. And Xander's like, what? And he's like, she cuts your head off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my God.
And so Buffy and Giles and Willow are all trying to figure out where she is. And then they're worried about Xander, but they think he's gone home. Like Buffy said, well, I saw him leave. I saw him leave school. He's not even here.
They don't know. Oh God, he didn't tell anyone.
And so then they're looking up this praying mantis, and Giles has somebody he knows that's in the UK that he can call and talk to about it and figure out something else. They find out she's a she mantis who lures virgins and
sorry, also ironic that the jock is also virgin, right? And he was cocking off about it. Oh my God.
And then, you know, mates with them and kills them. And so then they're talking about it, and Buffy's like, well, Xander's not. I mean, he and Willow goes, he's gonna die. And she like not like in a funny way. She's like seriously concerned.
Yeah.
She's like, this is not okay. Like, don't sugarcoat it.
Right.
We've got to do something. And so Willow goes to get the addresses from the substitute, like the sub role. And
I am so stressed right now.
I know. Buffy tells Giles to go get a recording of bat sonar.
Oh.
Because the praying mantis nervous system goes haywire when they hear bat sonar.
Cool.
And so he does it, but then he comes back and he's like, recording bat sonar is something soothingly akin to having one's teeth drilled.
I didn't think about him having to record it. I was like, just
Right.
download it off the internet.
Right, but it's
the 90s. Oh my God.
And he doesn't like any of the electronic stuff anyways.
Sweet, sweet boy.
And so then we go back to Xander, and he's broken the cage, and he's gotten a metal weapon now.
Okay, Xander, pop off.
Right. And so they find Mrs. French's address, and they're getting there just as the praying mantis, Miss French, is getting into the cell. And they roll up to this house, and they go to the door, and as they're looking at it, they're like, she stole Miss French's identity because she'd be like 90 years old. And they get to the door, and this old lady answers.
What?
And she's like, yes, I'm Miss French. And they're like,
oh shit,
she's not here.
Oh shit,
we don't know where to go.
Oh shit, oh my God.
Because Buffy's like, she could be anywhere. We don't even know. And the Miss French that's at the door is like, no, honey, I'm right here.
Not you.
Right?
Oh my God.
And so they're like, where do we go? And Willow's like, I'm going to start knocking on doors. And Buffy's like, we don't have time for that. And so Buffy jumps down a manhole.
Oh.
Finds the fort guy.
Holy fuck.
And uses him as kind of like a sniffing dog.
How's she convince him to do that?
She ties him up, brings him, and sees which one he's more against going in.
That's badass as hell. Holy shit.
Right? And so then we see Xander's like tied up, like kind of spread eagle almost. And the mantis face is like in his face saying, kiss me. It's really disgusting. And then Buffy breaks in through the window because they find it, and she ends up killing the other vampire dude because she was going to let him go, but then he started fighting her, and then so she killed him. And it's a weird scene because it's very dark.
Sure.
So you can't really see, and I'm sure they did that because the practical effects would be hard with a giant praying mantis. But she breaks in and starts spraying bug spray at it.
Cool.
And then she went to like use the bat sonar, and it started with Giles saying something, and she looks at him, Giles, and he's like, flip it over, it's the wrong side.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
And she, like the mantis hits her, and things go flying.
Oh my gosh, and she has to flip the cassette over. Oh my gosh.
Right. But then she gets it, and she gets the bat sonar going, and then she slices and dices it with a machete. She kills the praying mantis. Goodness. It's gone. And then Xander gets to her and is like, you okay? And she's like, yeah. And he says, just for the record, you were right. I'm an idiot, and God bless you.
See, you're right. He's growing on me.
Right?
What a guy. Oh my God.
And then he picks up the machete and destroys the eggs that were in there.
Good boy. Smart man.
Yeah, right. And then as he's doing that, they're talking about the fact that she preys on virgins.
Yeah.
And both guys are like, well, I'm not.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Willow's like, here you guys are doing the smart thing, the safe thing. And, and they're like, we're not, blah, 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 and they get all defensive about it.
Oh, my God.
And they're like, we'll never talk about it again. It's fine.
Right. Oh, God.
And then they're back in the bronze, and Angel is there again. And Angel, walks up to Buffy and is like, I guess I should thank you for getting another vampire off the street. And she's like, it'd be easier if I could get in contact with you if you want to keep giving me all of these, Yeah, I get your number.
Did she get his number?
He says, I'll be around.
Oh. Does she still have his jacket?
Yes. Well, she says you can take your jacket.
No, you keep it.
He says, looks better on you.
Yes! I said it in my head like right before you did. I was like, you keep it. My brain was like, looks better on you. That's what he said. Oh my God.
And then he walks away.
It's so fucking cliche and I love it.
I know. And then he walks away and she looks and she goes, oh boy.
Uh-huh. You're in deep, girlfriend.
I know, right?
Oh my God.
But then it goes back to science class. There's a new substitute teacher or like replacement teacher.
Yeah.
She puts Dr. Gregory's glasses into his jacket. That's apparently still on the door.
A little weird, but okay.
And then it pans down underneath one of the counters and you see eggs under a table desk in the science lab. And that's how it ends.
Oh my God, I love this show. I love this show so
Isn't it
much.
so good?
Holy shit.
It's wonderful. I told you, yeah, he kind of grows on you.
Yeah, you're right. He does. That whole episode, that was like a true redemption arc for me because it made him more of just like the cute, sweet 16-year-old.
Yeah, you're kind of dumb. You're not really understanding
but you try
the social deal with it. Yeah. Yeah. It's a sweet boy.
Quick housekeeping item I want to talk about. If you still wanted to get in on our little digital book club of Interview with a Vampire,
yes,
we'll probably be talking about that. I'm guessing we'll probably release the episode around or maybe a little after Halloween because the point is that you read it during spooky season.
Right.
So we might be releasing that maybe early November or right around Halloween. We'll see. But this is your reminder that if you haven't already, definitely hit it up. I'm about 140 pages in.
You're further than me.
I have a lot of thoughts,
yes,
but I'm loving it. I really like it.
I like it too. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
I also have a lot of thoughts. So
I know. I'm like, we can't talk about it because we need to like hold in my want to talk to you about it, but we're not going to. But so this is your reminder: get yourself a copy, local library, local bookstore, hit it up. If you want, or just don't read it, but expect spoilers for that episode. That's fine too. If horror is not your thing, if the creepy paranormal is not your thing, you probably won't love it.
Why are you listening to this?
Well, that's true. Why are you listening to this? That's a good point. But if you can't read stuff like that, if it hits a little different and it's not comedy, there is no comic relief in it.
Right.
So like if you need that when we talk, maybe don't read that book. But that's a reminder that you can get in on the book club.
Sounds good.
Also, feel free to message us and follow us on Instagram at vampsandmers with the and sign. Email us vampsandandmers@gmail.com. And like and subscribe wherever you listen.
Woot-a-doot-doot. Hope it wasn't a suckfest.
Obscurantism and obfuscation.
Orally observed, gentle listener.
Gentle listener.
Gentle listener.
Gentle listener.
Obviated objects of oblivion.
Obambulating about.
Offered unto you.
Offered unto you.
Offered unto you.
In the Tapestry Radio Network.
TapestryRadio.org.
From our fancy to yours.